So the next aggregate data type that we're going to learn about is struct. And we could create types in Go. Go's all about type, like int, string. We could create our own type, like type hot dog, and the underlying type is an int. And I could create a variable, var x is hot dog, and I could store, I know this seems kind of wacky, I could store format, I could be like x is equal to 7, and I could do func.printf %t to see the type, and pass in x, and func.println and pass in x. And the type is hot dog. I created my own type, and the underlying type is int. So if I wanted to, I could convert y colon equals int x. I could convert that. Sorry, it needs to be y. I could convert that value to its underlying type. Just interesting. And now that value became an int, right? I did that through casting. So here's casting. I said, take this value, and I know it's an int, so just make it an int. So that's casting. But the point of this is just to kind of illustrate that we could create our own types. And I think I will take this and stick it in folder 01. And drop that in there. And then copy this. Make it 02. And so in this next one, we'll see how we create another one. So instead of type hot dog int, I could do type person struct. So I've created a type. So I had type hot dog int before. And I have type person struct, and I've got a little error there because I need to add curly braces and then add values that are in there, because a struct holds values of different types. So it's an aggregate data type. It's going to aggregate together values of different types. And so if this was object-oriented programming, this would be like an object, right? Where you say, hey, type person has a name, has a weight, has an eye color, has hair color, right? But here we call it a struct. It's a data structure, struct. Okay, and the data structure aggregates or composes together values of different types. So we could just throw values of different types in there. This is package main. I could say first is a string, and I could say license is an int, and then I could create a value of type person. So I could say p1 colon equal, and composite literal, the type, curly braces, and then the values. So notice the composite literal here, type, curly braces, and that's where we put the values. Before we had a map, string int, with brackets around the string, and then put the values in. Or we had a slice of string or a slice of int, the type, and then the curly braces, and we put the values in. Composite literal, we're just sticking in the literal values, which is where literal comes from. A literal value is like 12 or James. Those are literal values, right? So this is composing together literal values, composite literal. So we have type, curly braces, and now we just need to enter in first James, comma, license, 007. You always have a trailing comma. And then func.println p1, and we could run that. And this is 02. So cd 02, go run main. So there's James and 7. And if we wanted to, we could add to this sayings like we saw last night, and this could be a slice of string. Right? So down here, I'm going to add in sayings. And then this is going to be a composite literal, slice of string, values, trailing comma. And the values will be shaken, not stirred. And Bond, James Bond. Trailing comma. And now when I print that, I've got that. So create a type person or a struct that stores two values and then print it out.